Good afternoon, potato chips. Wee Paddy back from sabbatical. Had a couple of days off. I just had to have a couple of days off. The one good thing is that I managed to get out the door and put a shirt on for the first time, outside properly since October. So I had the other day, me and my wife went down the town, had a walk around a couple of the wee shops that she likes to visit down the town. But I just thoroughly enjoyed getting out with wee Eddie, who's crying at the door because mummy's out. But I got out and that was just a joy. The smells, everything was just gorgeous. But I haven't been out since. My back's been playing up again. But there we go. So what have I got for you today? You've seen by the title. Well, you haven't seen. Well, you have seen. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be something like Stockman's I'm not going to collect them, which was a statement that I made when I first came around. Another one that I have blown out of the water recently, and another one that I want to give out a warning to another YouTuber, much like Mark Coffman, who should be on a blacklist. He has encouraged me with sack knives, which I've got lots more of now. I must say that video will be coming up shortly. And this one is about RJ's Knives. Now, I'll put both their names down in the description box, but don't go and watch their channels. They're a nightmare. They encourage you to buy knives. They show things that just make you want to buy knives. So it's more, this is a warning of two channels that could affect your bank balance. Two smashing fellas, please go and subscribe to them. They just put out so many videos that are about knives that the everyman wants, and isn't that the biggest part of this? There's lots of channels that do the high end. These fellas put out knives that every man wants, and some of this collection here is because of RJ's Knives and his Stockmans. So what I've got here is another Stockman I've got, and this, I will say, came from Etsy. And I buy a lot of my knives on Etsy. One, because it's cheaper, and two, because I can get the older knives, which I'm starting to get into because of the likes of RJ's Knives and Warthog and everybody who's about their knife chats with Tobias, Slick Slicers. So I don't like an awful lot of people on YouTube. So these people have been encouraging me to buy the older ones, and I'm now really getting into the American older made knives, especially slip joints, which is what I like. This one came from this shop on Etsy. It's in the Etsy UK, but I'm sure they post anywhere. It's Vintage Tool Goods, all one word. I'll put that down below. It's on Etsy in the UK. They've just started the channel. In fact, I think I was one of the first ones to put a review on their channel. He is the nicest fella you'll ever come across. He really is. And he sharpens the knives and makes them ready for, now they're all a lot older knives. They come razor sharp from him. He also does knife sharpening. If you live in the UK, you can ask him if he's got any room to take your knives for sharpening. I haven't had that done, but I know his traditional knives come very sharp. So I will be sending him one in the near future to sharpen so that I can show you some of his results. But anyway, let's go on here. This is a Stockman, and it came in this pouch, right? Really, really reasonable price. And that's the danger part of it. And this is an old-timer, a Schrade old-timer. And this is, I think, from the 70s, 80s. Anybody out there who can help me, I'll show you what it says on the tang. Let me just get this up here. Can you see it? It just says Schrade USA. Oh, gosh, I've forgotten what it is now. Oh, come on, Stephen. I've got my magnifying glass. 34OT. I think that is 34OT. Yeah. Can you see that? There you go. 34OT, I believe. So if you can tell me anything about it, please, and especially RJ's Knives. He's into the old timers at the minute. So you get the main spear blade, you get the spay blade, and this is just a regular Stockman. And there is different kinds, Stockmans, that do different blades, and I'm going to show you some of them just quickly before I go off. This is the cam tang on this. It's just absolutely so smooth, but they all have snap and they all just cut. I honestly believe the older the blades, Now, they mightn't last as long, although I don't have any proof of that, but they take a wicked edge, a really wicked edge. I mean, these edges are amazing he put on them. I have to say, it actually just takes a bit of your skin off if you rub against it. It's beautiful. So this is gorgeous. I really love it. It's got the, I think this is bone, if I'm not mistaken, saw cut. But I actually think it's bone. It looks so nice. I should have checked. I'm terrible for not checking. But look, it is a gorgeous knife. And if you want to take an EDC knife with you, listen to the snap on this. I think it's 70s or 80s. It's just really, really stunning. And I love that little old timer. Not that I'm old, of course. That doesn't ring any bells at all. But a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. And what an EDC knife. You have 3 surgical sharpness on a blade that 3 of them surely will last you all day. Even in this little small knife, it will do everything you want. It really will do everything you want. So I always said when I first came around, Stockmans are not my thing. I don't really think I'll collect them. It's not a knife, because I was never used to carrying a 3-bladed knife, I suppose. But sadly, I've got into it now, and they're such a useful tool. We all talk about tools, and yes, a knife is a tool. But well, you've got a tool with 3 blades, and some of them I'll show you have different blade patterns on them that just will cover anything that you actually would need a knife for, from whittling to hard use to farm work to anything. Eddie, stop, boy. He's just whinging in the background. It's terrible when his mother goes out. I think this is the one I probably started with, which is a Rough Rider, and a cracking knife in my Carta. I mean, the fit and finish on this knife is just fantastic. And it's a budget knife, but this will do you all day long. It doesn't matter that it's for 40A. That is a gorgeous knife. It's not going to take up much room in your pocket. Do you know what I mean? It is just a beautiful knife. For no matter what price this is a fantastic work knife. And I highly recommend it. But we don't just want them as work knives. We want them as showpieces as well. We want to look at how thin the difference is. Probably not much, well, a little bit different in size, but the thinness is just a drop in your pocket. This is a real good working knife. This will get you through an EDC day. So there's 2. Let's bring another one up from here. Here's a case, which I got not so long ago. This is in carbon steel. Absolutely love this knife. And the difference in this from the original Stockman is this one has a pen blade, it's a pen blade. Beautiful little knife. Yes, you get some rub marks on them, but you're going to get that no matter what the price range is. Well, not always. Again, that's a lie. Sometimes you'll get ones that don't mark, and they can be the cheapest ones or the dearest one. But it's usually the way you open them, and I'm not very graceful, so I open them usually wrong. But what a beautiful, listen to that. That's a case knife. It is perfect. Fit and finish, I can't deny it, is just fantastic. The next one I'm going to show you is this one. This is one I haven't showed in the channel yet, I don't believe. This is a Boker Stockman. Look at that bone. Look at the jigging on that. Is that not just beautiful? A really lovely knife. Again, fit and finish, fantastic. And it's the original clip, sheep's foot and spade blade. Absolutely gorgeous knife. Now, it was expensive. I even bought this on the secondary market, but it was expensive. And Boker knives now are really creeping up in prices. But for me, so far, I've had no bad ones. So I can only buy what I want. Here's a Fighting Rooster. This one you've probably seen before. There's a Swing Low Sweet Chariot on there. Fighting Rooster. Absolutely beautiful. But the difference in the blade here is this is a Warncliffe, which is lovely. Eddie, please stop. Beautiful snap to these blades. This is a gorgeous one. This has the, well, you know what that is, don't you? But a beautiful bone, buffalo horn bone, I believe. And another one that I got just recently is this beautiful vintage Tony Bowes case, which is just delicious. This has a a clip point, but it's a very different than what you normally get. It's not a swooping clip or a long, but it's somewhere in the middle. It sort of breaks from about the mid center of the blade, but a lovely clip point. And this is a really good working knife. This is a good stout blade here for doing cardboard cutting or whatever. But I mean, this is, I'm showing you some of these cases. This is an expensive case now because it's a Tony Bowes model. But an absolute joy to own. I love this knife. So there we go, and we'll get on to Great Eastern Cutlery, and this one is the number 82 Dixie Stockman. I believe that's what this is called. Look at that, beautiful Wharncliffe drop point blade, long clip blade, California clip, Turkish clip, whatever you want to call it. This is a bigger knife. This is a, what is this one? This one is about, let me just get this in here. This one is 4 1/8 long, so this is probably one of the bigger ones. And as a work knife, it is gorgeous. As a piece of art, it is beautiful. Love the bomb shield or squashed squirrel, whichever you want to call it. Gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Really, really nice knife. I love this one. But my favourite of all of them is another GEC, and it's this one, the Stockyard Whittler. Beautiful clip. I mean, GEC do the best clips ever, but this one is just a completely stylish clip. And when you think of a Stockman as a working blade, to have this sort of a clip on it, really, it's such, it's such a pleasure to bring that out and use. Beautiful. But here's the two blades. This is going to be my whittling knife once I ever get started at it. This one has an owl at the back of it, sharpened owl as well. You can see at the back there. This is quite sharp, but I have gone through a piece of wood that thickness in a matter of seconds with this. It bores amazingly. That, and then you have this gorgeous little sheep's foot that you're going to use for whittling. Absolutely beautiful. So there you go. There's, what's that? 8 knives on a knife collection that I wasn't going to start. And I'm now continuing because of that blooming RJ's knives, because I now want more of the older American brands. A lot of them are in the carbon steel that I really want to collect, because old carbon steel, look, I'm not a knife person at all, but I can just tell you for me, the older carbon steel takes just an amazing edge, and it takes no time. A strop brings it up, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm going, the older American ones. I've got another Remington that I've got, and I've got a couple of American brand, an Imperial one, but it was made in Ireland. It's an old battered one. I have to fix it up, but I love it. So Stockman's never, this is the joy, look, to be honest with you, this is the joy for me, of collecting traditional knives, that you just don't get one shape of a knife from one company. You get a variety of companies that do a variety of handle materials, of styles, of different blades in one knife. It's just a joy to collect. And I can't see me stopping with the Stockmans now, because I actually like them. And when I've taken them and used them for the day, and I've used this little case an awful lot with a CV blade, it is flipping just the most useful tool to have in your pocket. So there you go. It was a bit rambly. I had a couple of days off. Obviously, my brain has forgot everything, but go and check them channels out. Go on, just go and look at them. I want somebody else to spend money. And go and check Vintage Tool Goods on Etsy, because he's now bringing, and keep checking him, because he's bringing in knives, more American knives that he has done up and sharpened. You pay a little bit more, and I mean a little bit more, but when you're getting the knife, he tells you exactly what the knife is like, and that's what I like. Take care, everybody. Paddy's away for a wee cup of tea. Have a nice one. Bye.